Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Selling the Soundtrack, where we unravel the sync music industry. Today, we've got Sal Verma here with us. He's got tons of sync placements on movies and TV. To list some are Universal, NBC, and Fox. Sal, we're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You want to tell us a little bit about your sync journey?
Yes. So I started my sync journey uh, like 3 years ago from now. So we're in 2023. So like 2020, 2019, something like that. And I always knew that the sync world, oh no, I didn't know that the sync world existed as the sync world, but it was more like I was excited to get my music into movies and Netflix and stuff like that because I was like, oh, that's dope. I would love to be watching a TV show and my song comes on. So me and my production partner Pete, we would like start emailing people in like the sync world and stuff like that, or like Netflix world and stuff like that. Only then did we start thinking about ads, which we thought was kind of like selling out, but it's not.
No, and that's where so much of the money is, too.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the money is. Once I heard like one of my friends got synced for a Netflix TV show, I was like, oh shit, you must be rich. He was like, no, I only made $2,000 for the sync. I was like, not bad money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, we started looking into that sort of stuff. We started working with an ad agency, or not an ad agency, a sync agent in Denmark, I believe. And they do ads for like Google and Apple. And that was our first experience. Like, I think we were competing or like trying to get our song in for like either a Google commercial or an Apple commercial.
Cool.
And we got pretty close, and we still didn't know what sync was back then.
It's trial and error, truly.
Trial and error, but we
Yeah.
didn't even know the word sync.
Right.
You know, we didn't know that we were in the sync world at that point. You know, we were just doing it. We thought like this is another opportunity. We could make some major bank. You know, we didn't get an ad. But then after that, we were like, oh, like people do want this, you know, or people are looking for it. So we're like, let's look into it. Then we found out it's called sync and licensing and all that. And yeah, ever since then, like just focused on doing sync stuff, and we'll probably get in more into the sync for marketing and stuff down the line.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. It's really cool hearing everybody's story because it's so different. You kind of worked backwards where you were
What do
already
you mean?
doing it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, this is what the industry is. Rather than being like, I want to get into this industry.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you were just like, I want my music to be in media.
Yeah.
And then you kind of learned backwards.
Yeah. Had no idea what sync was, but we
Yes.
were already doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it was similar. Like we work with one record label in the UK called Ninja Tune, and I think the idea was we wanted to be on the record label, and but they suggested that we could go for sync. I
Okay.
think
As part of their sync arm.
as part of their sync arm
Got
because we had
it,
like
yeah.
2 songs. I can't remember exactly how we came upon that, but again, that was more like just stumbling into it.
Yeah.
You know, we need to make money.
Yeah.
You know, or like we want opportunities.
Once you started learning about sync, how did you maneuver your way more into it?
Once I started learning about sync, or once I knew what sync was, like just by
Yes.
like Googling,
Yes.
started looking into like libraries, sync agents and stuff like that, just understanding how that world worked, reading
Yes.
up on like the legalities behind it.
Right.
And I have a book called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business.
Yeah.
And they have a licensing section in it, so I read that.
Okay.
And just talking with people,
Yes.
you know, understanding what the sync world was,
Right.
because it was pretty like there wasn't a lot of information back then,
Yes.
or back then, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't looking in the right
No,
places.
but you're right though. There isn't that much. There still isn't that much
Yeah.
information out there. Like there are the odd courses and forums and
Yeah.
outlets for people in the industry, but it's not like a prevalent industry.
No, it's not a prevalent industry, but it's becoming more popular, or more people are talking about it, or maybe
Yeah.
because we're in the world.
Yeah,
That's our
so
perception.
like, yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then after that, like going into Joshua's class,
Oh yeah,
XJ Will,
100%. So helpful.
so helpful. I saw him on a Twitch stream, and
Yeah.
then I bought into his course. I knew everything in the
Right.
course. Like I knew it.
Yeah.
but it was good to get that validation.
Yes.
Even better than that though was access to Josh
Yeah.
and access to the community.
It's just also nice to see peers winning.
Yeah.
Like I love opening my email and seeing notice from Josh's course and
Yeah.
being someone saying like, "Oh, I just got placed in NBC."
Yeah.
"Oh, I just got placed just any
Like Omega
placements."
Sparks winning a Grammy.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's
Yeah.
just part of the group chilling, posting on here. And I'm like, way to go.
Yeah.
It's important to surround yourself with people that are kind of in the same, not zone, but like kind of in the same mindset and place that you are, just as motivation to
Yeah.
be like, you're doing everything right. And we're also on the same page.
Yeah, and everyone's pushing towards a similar goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how I started learning more about sync. And then just talking to music supervisors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was big. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Talking to music supervisors is really key just because they're the middleman between you getting placed.
Yeah,
So like getting to know them on a human being level helps so much
completely.
because they're inundated with emails constantly being like, listen to my music, but like taking the time to be like, hey, like, can we just chat?
Yes.
Like that's something they don't usually get.
Yes. And like getting to know music supervisors, like they are the middlemen in the process of you getting placed, but you are selling to them. Because
Yes.
because they will be the ones referring your songs to whoever makes the decision,
Yeah.
on the director of the TV show or movie or whatever. They're going to be making the decision, yes, no,
Totally. Yeah.
in most cases, I guess. But just talking, like you said, talking to them on a human being, like the level of a human being, like just person to person.
Yeah.
And then asking them about their life.
Yeah.
Like why do you do this? What makes you tick? Like, how can we as the makers of the music have empathy for your process? You know what I mean? Because when you're starting out, they have the power, and you don't have leverage. You know what I mean? So to gain leverage is to be a human being and ask them, how can we make sure that your process is as easy as it can be when working with us,
Yes.
rather than making your life hard, and then
Yes.
there's many, many things people can do to make a music supervisor's life easy.
I think coming at it from the perspective of like, how can I serve you? How can I help you?
Yeah.
Really does a lot.
Yeah, and like if they're sending you a brief, read the brief. If they're asking for a rock song with an electronic whatever, don't send them a country song. They're not going to accept it, and you've just wasted your time. That's most important, and their time. That's secondary. But don't waste your time. Therefore, don't waste their time. Have your metadata in place. That's the most important thing you can do. If your metadata is screwed up, they're not going to place the song.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to try to call you or email you when they have an hour or however, I don't know. Their lives are pretty hectic.
Yes.
I think for anybody who's listening and starting out, or they haven't even started, your best can be pretty bad. It can be bad.
Yeah.
But you learn. You don't have to get started dope.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think practice makes better. And
Yeah.
that's just like understanding, like, I'm going to have to put in some effort for a couple months to be able to see something
Yeah.
happen. And we were talking about this the other day where it's like, we are so lucky that we get to play every day.
Yeah.
Like,
We like you said, we get to.
we get to.
We don't have to. If you're feeling like you have to, then don't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some days it feels like you. Some days I do have days where I'm like, oh my God.
I think the first step feels like you have to. It's like starting a workout. I
Yeah.
have to work out.
Yeah.
And when you're in the workout,
You don't think about it.
you don't say, "Oh, I hate this."
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes, but like after the workout, you usually
Feel
like,
good.
majority of the times you feel pretty good and accomplished.
Definitely.
Same thing with all the like, you don't feel like doing a track or whatever. Just take the first step. Open up your DAW.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Open up your DAW. Great.
Make a playlist of songs that do inspire you.
Yeah,
Listen to
some
them a
music.
couple times.
Yeah.
Turn it off and then just start creating.
Yeah, or watch some ads or TV shows. or
That's
listen to
very
some
good
music,
advice also.
you know?
Listening to what is getting placed right now.
Yeah.
Like actually listening to YouTube ads.
Yeah.
Watching films and TV that are happening right now. What kind of music is getting placed?
Yeah.
And replicating that is, I found, really helpful.
Yeah, replicating that, and also in terms of your business, if you're watching TV shows or movies, you can at the end credits, you can just find who the music supervisor is, search them up on LinkedIn or IMDb. IMDb? Yes, IMDb.
Yes, IMDb.
And then find a way to reach out to them.
Yeah.
You know, so like it becomes like a mindset of like
Yes.
everything becomes fun in terms of like I'm watching a movie, great needle drop in that movie, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I think it's like about loving all facets of this whole thing. Like even the other day when we had our outreach day, just like
That was
creeping,
nice.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much so Sal and I and Pete have been working on a couple of albums, and we decided every other session would be like an outreach day, but like the outreach days are really fun because like you become a detective. It's like, okay, so we found this library and the owner of it is named this, just through a Google search, and then we found his website and found an employee at his company who's like the mastering engineer, so then messaged him on Instagram and then got his email. It's just like finding outside of the box ways to like make an impact.
Yeah.
Because like just sending a like, hey, listen to my music email, rarely do people listen to that.
Yeah.
So like, you know, saying, hey, like congrats on blah blah blah, because you researched that they won something recently. I make similar music to this.
Yeah.
You know, is there a good way for me to send my stuff to you?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, not being so cut and dry with the outreach.
Not being so cut and dry, having fun with it, experimenting with it. Like even when you were sending the email to Ken and Brad, we were like, put Brad's name first, not Ken's.
Just to stand out.
Just to stand out, because it was Ken's name that was on the
everywhere
company or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, you're putting Brad's name first because it might show that you've done the research.
And just secret sauce, try different things every single time. It's like a lot of trial and error and learning.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a right way to do anything. It's just you have to try different things.
Yeah. The other secret sauce is consistency. Just being consistent. If you're sending out emails, consistently send out emails. If you're making music, consistently make music.
Yes.
I was told you are what you repeat. So if you want to be a musician and you're not making music every day, you're not a musician. You are what you do every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like you're not a professional musician.
Yes.
You know?
It's not a career. Yeah.
It's not a career. If you're, I don't know, you play games every day and that occupies most of your time, you're a gamer. That is who you are. That is what you do. You are what you repeat. You know, that's what I hold true to myself. So, yeah.
I think that's factual.
Yeah, I think so.
And if you ever want to be really good at something, like you need to put in the time.
Yes. It's the enjoyment of the process, trying new things, listening to music you like, music that you wish you'd written, and you try to emulate it. Like having that jealousy is huge for me. You know, being jealous and being like, I'm going to make something better than that. Being competitive is a big part for me in terms of that creative philosophy.
How so being competitive? As in like, if this person can do it, I can do it too?
I can do it better.
I can do it better.
Is my mindset. Okay. And it doesn't always, generally doesn't work out better. You know what I mean?
It's just different.
But it's a way to get started. You know what I mean? Whatever turns you on, how do you get started on something? You know what I mean? It's a way to get started. Or maybe you're just like, I want to make some music, so I'm going to make some music. And forget about it being for sync. Forget about it being for artist project or whatever. But that's what I mean. Enjoy the process. You know what I mean? Why did you start making music?
Yes.
Because you enjoyed music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you have some sort of innate push or pull to make music. So that's like with sync, you have to just find ways that you get inspired to continue making music all the time, you know?
I think that's excellent advice. Just because if you are making things you're not passionate about, you can hear it. You can literally hear.
Yeah. And you're not going to finish it.
No.
You're not going to make it good.
Yeah.
Usually, you know?
Yeah.
So like it's, you have to just find ways that inspire you. So those are a couple things that inspire me and motivate me. I'm also obsessive with music. If I listen to a song that I really like, I will try to write something like that. Yeah. Rip people off. Yeah. Doesn't mean it has to come out, but you're learning something in the process.
Yeah.
Usually if you're ripping people off and it's going through your own filter, it's going to sound different.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the same skills as they do. Maybe you don't play the same instruments as they do, but you're trying. You know what I mean? That's a great way to get started on a song too, that you're trying.
I love that not quote, but you had like a philosophy of like how ideas come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Lack of ownership on
Yeah.
ideas. Like if you have like a lot of people, it's not an original thought, but
Yes.
a lot of people like this, um every musician, every songwriter is fishing in the same river.
Mm-hmm.
Um like getting a song idea is catching a fish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It exists. The song idea exists. If you let it go, someone else is going to capture that song idea. If you're a producer or musician and you've been doing it for a while, I'm sure some people can relate when you think like, I had that idea, but I never did anything about it. Then months down the line, I heard it
Mm.
as a big song or whatever. It was my idea. I came up with it, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But I didn't do anything about it. You know what I mean? So you don't have lack of ownership of your idea removes ego as well from the process or from having a result,
Mm-hmm.
because the biggest enemy is thinking about making a good song.
Yeah.
Don't even think about making a bad song. Don't think about making a good, bad, whatever. You just, again, process.
Yes.
You're in the process.
Absolutely. And that's why collaboration is really important in sync as well.
Yes.
Divide and
Oh, we should
conquer.
talk about that.
Yeah, we should
We
talk
should
about
talk
that too.
because then you're not an island. You're not working on your
No.
own. So like a couple of the other friends that I'm working with on Sync, they're a group of 3 guys, and I told them the first EP we need to have at least one song where all 3 of you guys have collaborated on it. So everyone's putting in the effort. Every call we do, we're all 4 of us are on the call, working together on getting even one person's EP off the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's teamwork. And if we're collaborating on music, we're splitting up a lot of the responsibility.
Yeah.
Even like if you write most of the song or something like that, you're missing that 1%. You send it to me, I'll add that 1%.
Yeah.
Boom, and that finishes the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like someone takes care of the mixing. Someone takes care of the emailing. You know what I mean? It's collaboration in the sync game, in my opinion, is huge, especially when you're starting out.
Yeah.
There's so much information that it could be debilitating.
Yeah. Having someone that you can bounce ideas off of, I cannot recommend it enough.
Collaborating with someone who's been in the game just a bit longer than you helps so much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the same thing is now happening with the group of these 3 guys that I'm working with.
Yeah.
They made an EP. One of them made an EP in 1 week after me doing a call with him and telling him, this is what edit points are, blah, 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 blah. A week later, he finishes the EP. A few days, so the week he finished the EP, I got on a call with him again, saying, here are some libraries you can email, you find some own. On this call, together, we're going to send these emails out.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A few days later, he gets responses to get into libraries. How long was that process? 2.5 weeks. You know what I mean? So if you're working with someone that can really help you out with this shit,
Yeah.
like dispel a lot of the guesswork, a lot of the fears, a lot, and like encourages you to do things, you know what I mean? And pushes you. Because I push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
I push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want the money too.
Yeah.
And I want, or if for these guys at least, I'm not getting anything out of it.
Right. You just want to see
financially.
them succeed.
I just want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's another way to learn
It's
while
another
working.
way to learn. This is music. This is how we're situating ourselves in life. It's not about money.
Yeah.
It's about the love of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So explore every facet of it.
Yes.
You know?
And regarding the technicalities of like breakdowns of splits when collaborating in this industry, it's pretty normal to like split things 50-50 with whoever you're working with.
It's just, even in music, unless you're a producer artist agreement kind of thing. But okay, forget about that. We're talking about sync.
Yeah.
In sync, it's just so much easier to split 50-50 because people will feel guilty if they're not putting their 50 in. You know what I mean? Whether it's musically, whether it's businessly, or emotionally, I don't know, moral support. You know what I mean? There is a guilt there, but that's not the reason you split it 50. You split it because it's easier to split things equally amongst everybody. So splits, equal splits. Equal splits, share the money, share the happiness. The money shouldn't get in the way of the art. Having community is so important to be able to talk to people, bounce ideas from, learn from mistakes, learn from their successes, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So find community. That's where you're going to find collaboration. That's where you're going to make money.
Definitely.
Collaboration is the fucking spice of life.
Yeah.
Why do we get married? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's easier to live through life with somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
definitely. We're not meant to
collaboration.
be alone.
We're
Yeah.
not meant to be alone. Don't be
Yeah.
an island.
But this industry specifically, the more I get into it, the more I'm understanding this is a people industry.
Yeah.
That is the fundamental root of this industry. You
Yeah.
need to be able to be friends with people.
Yes. You need to be
Yeah.
able to talk, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that we say, and like you and I have said, and I've told other people too. You can email for exchange of information. Pick up the phone to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Call people. A lot of people listening, a lot of people, or music supervisors and sync agents and whatever, on their email signatures, they'll have their
They'll
phone
have
number.
their phone number.
If you call them, it's their fault for leaving their phone number.
Almost 100% of the time, they have their phone numbers up
Exactly.
in there.
They're a business. They need, but if you're a business, you need to have a business number, by the way.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to have it in the email signature on their website or whatever.
Yeah.
Call them.
Just call.
Call them, man.
Yeah.
Most likely, if they're busy, they'll tell you they're busy.
Yeah.
Call them. Ask them about their day. Genuinely.
Yeah.
You know, be curious about this person.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
You're not going.
fake it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to the phone call, again, to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to the phone call to understand a human being.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand a human being, you have better chances of working with them. If you're working with them and you understand them, you have better chances of making money together.
Mm-hmm.
One thing to also discuss is a lot of artists, when they enter this thing, if you were like me, you think you're selling out and whatever, and you just have to make ad music. Not true. Sync doesn't just mean ad music. Sync music can also mean that you're taking your music that you've already released and give it over to non-exclusive opportunities. So non-exclusive means your music is already released. You can give it to things for like TV shows and movies and stuff like that. And those are non-exclusive deals. Usually pay less than exclusive deals. Obviously, it depends on the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you can use your song to pay, or you can use your songs as and put it towards sync. The ones that are already released. So, me for example, I have songs that have been synced through my artist project, my artists songs as well. Like, so I'm a producer. I work with different artists, and I'm an artist myself. So like I've had songs of mine synced, that my artists have that I produce for.
Synced.
Yeah, they've been synced as well for non-exclusive licenses. So you get it's a fucking whole world to push through. Which brings me to the main point. You can use your music, or sync can be used to market your music. You know, it depends on the placement. You could be on a TV show that's a hit of a song that you've only gotten 10,000, maybe 1,000 plays for. Once it's on the TV show, everyone Shazams it. Boom, you're exploding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, sync should also be considered part of your own marketing plan as an artist. Sync doesn't mean you have to fucking quit your artist project and you're making ad music that kills your soul. You know what I mean?
You can do it all.
You can do it all. You can do one. You can do none. You know what I mean? So I think I just wanted to mention that sync is a good marketing tool for your artist project and the artists that you work with.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like a lot of artists that we love now, some of them are famous because of sync.
The amount of music that I've discovered through TV shows, through ads, a lot through ads. I mean, that's a sync, and people are getting fans based off of that. It's a visual thing that people are engaging with every day, all the time, every hour, every second of every minute. You know what I mean? So like, just consider it as part of your marketing. That's it.
Totally.
Yes.
Before we wrap up this episode, do you have any last things you want to share?
Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Just make the music. That's it. Just make the music. That's what you do. Believe in your expertise. Music supervisors want to work with you because they trust your expertise as a musician. You know what I mean? That you've done your part. They can hear that you've done your part, done your work. They can hear that you've done your work in learning and education and blah, 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 because they can hear it. You know what I mean? So some of the opportunities that you're working on solo, you know what I mean, not in collaboration with me or whoever, is because people can trust. They know you're an expert at what you do, so trust your expertise. People reach out to you and they're giving you feedback and they want your music because you're good at it, so you can trust that.
Feedback is good.
Feedback is good. Trusting yourself is good, and And yeah, feedback is good in the sense that it's engagement, right? That's what you're
Yes, it
saying.
means that they're interested.
That
Like
they're
instead of
interested.
being butthurt that like, you know, this supervisor is like, you need to change A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O
Yeah.
P. Instead of being butthurt about it, it's like, okay, well they're telling me I need to change all these things. Like they took time to do this.
Yeah, that's engagement. That's
Mm-hmm.
engagement. Anyone can enter sync, but very little people stay in sync. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Any music, because like it starts off easy and fun, and there's so many opportunities and prospects and the money and blah blah blah. But the more you get into it, the harder it becomes in the sense of getting the feedback. You know, the exports that you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. There's a lot of work that does happen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for all the exports that I did for last week,